information about this customer. Let's move on to the addresses. If I want to add addresses to the dynamic video customer, I click on the address button, and you will notice that another screen will open up. The screen appears blank at first because we have no addresses against this customer. If I go up to my top set of buttons and click on New, you will notice that this screen opens up where I can add address information. The first is I put in my description. We will always enter an invoice address, and we will define it as invoice. When I click on address type, I select invoice, and then I enter the street name. If they have a suite number, I can enter it here. I can enter the city. I can pick from my list of states. If you are in the US, we would not recommend putting the country. You can enter your zip code. Also note at this point that if you are some of our English, Australian, Ireland, or other international countries, there is a configuration setting for telephone numbers, zip codes, and things like that. Please check with your system administrator for that. We can enter the phone numbers, fax numbers. We can put in any web addresses. This box allows us to save a great deal of typing. If this customer's shipping address is the same as his invoice address, you can simply keep this box clicked and you do not have to add a shipping address. It will assume that the invoice address is the same and place that address on any documents. If the shipping address is different than the invoice address, then unclick this box, and once we have finished entering this information, we can save it and then add another address. Let's leave that box checked for now. We do have some contact information. This is a little bit of a throwback to the history of the system. Before we had the contact box window for entering all the email addresses, this used to be the only area for contacts. Now that we have the contact screen, we would recommend not entering the information here. The notes box is useful as estimating notes. So if you wanted to enter any specific estimating information into this area for this customer, then you can enter it there and it will be sent across to the estimating system. Special dates: if you are a type of company who looks for any reason to talk to your customers, then you can put special dates like birthday, owner's birthday. And there are reports in the system that you could run every day giving you a list of any customers who had a special date today and give you a reason to call that customer and see how things are going. Once we have entered the information for the first address, we can save it. And then if we wanted to add addresses, we simply click on the New button, and you will notice it opens up another screen and we can enter more addresses. We usually recommend, I'm going to cancel out of here. Well, actually, before I cancel out of here, sorry, I will click on the address type. So you could see that we could add shipping, shipping 2, shipping 3, shipping 4. So if you had customers with multiple plants, if they had 5, 6 plants, if you entered shipping 2, you can use that address type against multiple customers. Actually, I think maybe what I'll do is I will add one additional address here just to give you that an idea. So let's say that they have a second shipping address. I could select shipping 2 and I could say Buffalo plant. So I could define that shipping 2 address as the Buffalo plant, and then I could fill in all the information relating to the Buffalo plant. I'm just going to cancel out of that. I don't want to save it, so I'm going to click on the cancel button and I'm going to discard that information. Once I've entered all my address information, I can close the address window, and I can now go in and add my contacts for Dynamic Video Customer. When I click on the Contact button, again a screen opens up that looks completely blank, but that's because I don't have any contacts against this customer yet. Again, I simply click on the New button. I select the email type. Let's say we want to send the email that's generated when the packing slip is created. So I select the shipping email type. I type in the name of the person who should receive this email. I put in their email address. And I can enter their first name, last name, and phone numbers to the system. This is important because we can export this information into your Outlook. So I'll enter the first name, the last name, direct line, fax, and my cell. And once I've done that, I can click on Save, and then I'm able to another new contact type. Simply click on New and enter the next contact type. It is important to remember that you can add as many contacts as you want, and you can add multiple contacts for the same email type. If, for example, there are 3 people at the printing company who want to be notified whenever a shipment is ready to be picked up, you can add all 3 of those contacts and list them all as shipping contacts. You should also be entering your own internal people who are responsible for this particular customer. If, for example, CSR is responsible for Dynamic Video Customer, they should also be added to this list and entered as a shipping email type, so they will also get a email when this document is created.